Good afternoon, everyone. I was a bit apprehensive about conducting a session after lunch, but thanks to the mock parliament, it has worked in my favor. Right, good afternoon again, and I'm Dr. Shubhada Karande. I'm an occupational therapist with specialization in ergonomics. So you work from home, you work from office. As long as you're working, we all need ergonomics. And today is a very special occasion for an OT because it's World Occupational Therapy Day. And the theme for this year is Unity Through Community. And I wish to address the fact that all the HRs are taking this effort to come together to help the workforce is not just depicting the theme, which is Unity in Community. Right, so talking about workplace and wellness ergonomics, we need to have a holistic approach towards well-being at workplace. Why? So we know what is work all about, and we have to sit properly. We have that basic common sense, and yet we work for long hours in incorrect setup, straining our bodies, leading to physical pain, harming our overall well-being, leading to loss of productivity. And that is one thing no organization can afford. So during the pandemic, we came across something called as the epidemic. Like the picture depicts, not only the IT people and the screen users, but even the manual laborers. Everyone needs good workplace ergonomic setup to make sure the productivity is unaffected. So I'm talking about ergonomics since past few minutes. How many of you can relate to it? Show of hands. Do you know about it? Not bad. I'm here if you don't. How many of you can relate to this? Not? The work from office crowd is pretty healthy. Great, great, great. So we might have one of these, two of these, or maybe all of these. What are these? All pain areas that are quite common, and the statistics say 28% neck pain, 15% mid-back pain, 41% back pain, 5% wrist pain, 25% knee and leg pain. You think you're sitting, but even the knee get affected with static sitting. Almost 56% of employees complain of multiple pain areas. The statistics are still not relatable, are they? Do you relate? I don't have knee pain, why should I bother with the 25%? So I've got you more graphic view of what happens to you. Imagine the game of Jenga at the beginning, the sturdy built of blocks. That everyone knows Jenga? Yes, there it is. So what happens in the game? Bit by bit, the game becomes challenging once you start removing the blocks. Now imagine the first phase where it's all sturdy. Now this is your vertebral column. We usually call it as a spinal column, but it's the vertebral column, the bony part of your spine. Imagine it to be the Jenga assembly. So what happens? As minute as carrying your bag on one shoulder, or sitting with your wallet or phone in your back pocket, start disintegrating the Jenga of your vertebral column. Okay, you don't even realize it. Okay? Even if you are straining your wrist, the domino effect takes over all over the vertebral column. Okay? So what is happening? In the neck, please have a look, take a moment to look at this slide and the impact it has on your neck. Beginning with, if your neck is in neutral position, 0 degrees, then 2, we are loading 5 kgs of weight on your vertebral column and spine. Imagine with every increasing degree, there is increasing load of weight on your neck, which, like I said, through the domino effect, affects your entire vertebral column. Take a moment, soak it all in. We'll quickly do a demo. Keep your phones away. I know, hard task. Keep your phones away and just bend your neck till I count till 10. 1. Just close your eyes, bend your neck, and count till 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is happening while you bend your neck completely down? What's happening? You can feel the pressure. Do you feel this pressure when you're browsing your mobile? Exactly. So the mindfulness is lost when you're engrossed in your activity. But this is the load that I'm talking about, just plain bending. Okay? So just plain bending of neck can start this disintegration. I'm not saying right away. Just because we did this exercise, don't come to me saying this happened because of you. So this disintegration takes a long period of time, bit by bit, block by block, unit by unit, and a perfect imbalance, fracture, and long-term health issues start. And what are those called? Musculoskeletal disorders. So these are painful conditions of muscles, nerves, and ligaments, the entire system that develop over time from tasks that repetitively cause stress and injury, okay? And they don't happen overnight. It takes a long time to have this impact on your health. Moving on. So almost, according to a Godrej Interio research paper, 31% of employees expect that the employers should be interested in their physical and mental well-being. And holistic employee well-being will be at the center of evolution as we move on and consider this. I wish to bring your attention to the fact that the 2030 UN agenda, the United Nations agenda for sustainable development, has 17 goals at the heart of it. And they are expecting an urgent call for action to be taken by all countries, not just developed, as well as developing countries, to work towards global partnership to bring these goals about and sustain as a community. Why do I mention this? Amongst the top 3 goals is good health and well-being. Next to poverty and hunger. Good health and well-being is on the top 3 of these 17 goals. What does this describe? So the good health and well-being is to ensure healthy lives. Promoting the well-being for all at all ages is essential to sustainably develop. And as HRs, I think this goal can be yours as well. Am I right? Am I right? Yes. So what do? As a team, we come together and we prioritize, we sensitize and normalize having good health and well-being amongst our workforce, our employees. What will this lead to? This will lead to physical well-being, mental well-being, as well as the newly formed digital well-being, given the fact that so much technology is now into the system. Okay, and like the previous panel discussion said, we don't use system according to, people are not supposed to tailor to the system. The system has to be tailored to meet people's need. So these 3 goals are met. But again, one size doesn't fit all, does it? How? Can anyone give an input? Can one size fit all at a workplace when you create a system? Does it fit all? How no? Why no? Any examples on top of your mind? Disabilities, inclusion, what else? Women, okay. Sorry? Pregnant women, okay. Health conditions, inclusions. Yes. Also the fact, like the picture depicts, the intergenerational workforce that we have. Someone comes with more experience, someone comes with more physical enthusiasm. So things vary. So how do you manage that? Ergonomics is the answer. Because, like I said, ergonomics is concerned with the understanding of interactions among humans and other elements of a system in order to optimize the human well-being and overall system performance. So why and how does Godrej come into picture? So it's a very beautiful initiative by Godrej Interio, where they have hired a healthcare professional and ergonomist specialization to make sure we create and build productive health spaces. So the fact that I would like to read a few points from a research paper conducted on impact of office ergonomics on business performance. So it's a regional paper, Noida region research. In the past few decades, there has been a strong trend for corporate organizations and business to reconfigure their office spaces. So if you consult an ergonomist in the initial phases of building, planning, it will benefit your system more effectively rather than later. But even after the initial designing phase is over, user training and other aspects do come into picture, and you can still consult an ergonomist how to make the system work for employees. Okay, so office ergonomics have been recommended by many studies as one of the key guides to equipping employees at the workplace to help produce best performance. Having said that, I wish you to have a look at this 2-minute video about what exactly workplace ergonomics is all about. Volume, please.
not just in the office. Work from home doesn't change things. Longer hours, little or no exercise, and the lack of proper setup all lead to MSDs like back pain, neck pain, and more. This can directly impact your employee productivity and your company's performance. Godrej Interio's Wellness at Work can help make your workspace healthy and more comfortable to work in through ergonomic interventions. How do we do this? Using the ACP approach. First is assessment. We do a thorough workspace audit, observe how your employees work, and identify ergonomic hazards. We also assess the environment, illumination, noise, temperature, etc. to help you make your space conducive to work. Next is correction. We act on our assessment, help remove ergonomic hazards, recommend how you could improve the workspace by rearranging or introducing new elements, and more such interventions. Most importantly, we educate, because changing the environment isn't enough to change habits. We run programs to raise awareness. We tailor on-site and online workshops for office goers so that they practice good working habits every day. We've also conducted these sessions across various sectors. The last step is prevention. Timely reminders to remind people about wellness. When in doubt, you can reach out to us for a consultation. Our panel of workspace experts are happy to help. Let us partner you in your journey towards well-being. Let's make workspaces healthy and productive.
Right. So that explained the process that I entirely take under the workplace ergonomics and the related assessment, correction, and prevention bit. Elaborating further, how does it affect the organization? Like I said, ergonomics is directly related to improved business performance. How many of you can relate to this statement? Do you agree with this statement? 1, okay. 2, 3, okay. This is quite, it was quite expected, because usually what happens is once you bring a healthcare professional into the picture, you relate it with productivity, health, well-being. But look at the larger picture here. If you involve ergonomics from the beginning, the system can be planned and designed in a way which will be beneficial for the organization. Like I said, performance aspects could include output volume, lead production, lead time, flexibility, quality levels, operating cost, amongst others. The contribution of ergonomics to healthcare and safety is not always recognized by organizations and management. So it generally, the rather health issues and related cost of sickness is coming into the picture, nothing with regards to business goals. So what we do as ergonomists, we consider both the physical as well as the psychological human aspects. And we want to see that these organizations with their strong need to obtain employee commitment, reduce expenses, and increase productivity, I think you should be considering ergonomics and bring it to forefront. So it will be easier to obtain health and safety improvements. And if you understand the ergonomic improvements, it will simultaneously help realize the primary strategic goals of the business. Currently, many managers and ergonomists may not be used to thinking in terms of strategic objectives within the firm and the strategic opportunities provided by ergonomics to help reach those business goals. So what do we do? For example, these are the 4 classic mistakes that we make when selecting a chair, as basic as chair. Okay, we don't consider who's the user. We don't consider what is the interaction level, how much of sitting is that user doing. We don't consider the workplace design. We get the huge big chair, but the space to keep it, the desk space is very small. And last but not the least, you can have the best ergonomic chair in the world, but if you're not trained how to use it, it's not benefiting you. Again, I wish to highlight here that ergonomics is not only about chairs. The other factors that affect you ergonomically is workspace design, poor indoor air quality, our work habits, how long are we sitting, how long are we taking to move around, the noise level, and other lifestyle habits. Here I wish to do a small experiment. Everyone please take your mobile in the hand. Go to the setting of brightness. Can we dim the lights if possible? If possible. Now increase the brightness to the maximum. And try to look at your screen. Can you function with very high brightness? Can all of you function? Raise your hand if you can. How many of you are getting affected with increased brightness? Yes. So usually what do we put it on? Auto mode? Or do we adjust according to our requirements? How many of you use auto mode for brightness adjustment? And how many of you do it manually? Do you know these small things that you're doing is ergonomics? Here, your vision part of body part is being taken care of when you adjust the brightness according to your needs. So moving on, like I said, all these aspects of ergonomics and human health is taken into care to make sure we invest in the right work environment by procuring the perfect furniture, perfect setup, perfect design, space design, and then we also invest in wellness at work. Sorry, I'm mocking the HR team again, but Rangoli, there is more to there's more to HR, sure, beyond Rangoli and Fun Fridays. So we can invest in wellness session. Definitely have one of these, making it a habit. And we can definitely invest in providing weekly wellness reminders. So we already have something called as wellness tips. All of you can go to the Interio page and subscribe to it. It is free of cost. And what does this do? Today you are sitting in my session. Maybe half an hour later, next panel discussion comes, you will forget about it. So we need these reminders on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. What works for you? What works? Make sure that your health is not affected while you're giving your best to the organization. So these reminders come into the picture. And another aspect of these weekly reminders is you can co-brand, increasing your business reach as well, while promoting healthcare. Right, that will be all, and I hope these strategies, if you do plan to implement, will be successful for several business functions of your organization, and hope we can work together to make sure the productivity and employee well-being is considered all time, every time. Because technologies may come and go, but human resource has to be saved. Thank you.